Hello everyone. Last few days I've made a simple workstation, a tool tidy, which I put onto YouTube, and since then it's given me the opportunity to tidy up the workshop a little bit. On this one I'd like to show you how to make a simple candlestick. As you can see, that's the work tidy, and I've had the opportunity to clean up the lathe, and it's easier to work with then without all the clutter. And these are a selection of a few candlesticks that I've made previously, so I'm hoping to make one today similar to this. No specific dimensions, but as you can see, it's off-centered, so it gives it a little bit of extra character. Now for this project I'm going to use what they call a wobble chuck, and it helps you to turn off-centered objects without having to center the ends, eccentric to the wood. So I'll just take it out and show you what it looks like. You can buy these eccentric chucks, well actually the wobble chucks, and the thing with this one is I have a metal lathe, so I've turned down the end, the slight, you see how it's sort of angled, so it fits into the chuck jaws, and it's easy to mount and to take off. So I'll put it back in the chuck. There we have it. Well, now I've managed to find a piece of wood that I hope to make one out of. It looks like, I think it's probably olive ash, and the thing about it is it's got some knots in it and cracks and things which I hope to turn out, and if it's successful that will give it lots of character and it'll look pretty nice when it's finished. Now to mount it on the chuck we need to mark out the surface, the end, just a simple cross to find the centre, like that. So that's sorted. Now if you thought you could just screw that on there, I think you break your wrist trying to do it. So what I normally do is I drill with a drill that's slightly smaller than the screw, and that one is too small, so to give you an idea what I'm talking about, I'll take this out again and we'll get some different drills. This one looks a decent one. Well, I think you see how it's quite a big screw on the end of there. So to relieve it and to make it easier to screw in, I've got a drill which is just slightly smaller than the actual screw in diameter, so that you can still see the threads, so you know the crest of the threads and the depth of the thread, so that make it much easier to screw into there like that. So that's what I'm going to do next, is drill this piece of wood on my bench drill, and also to remember to drill it deep enough and not too deep. I don't know whether you can see from there, but as you can see over here on the drill, I've just put it on a block of wood there, and I'm going to drill down, and I've measured it at 1 inch deep. I set that there like that. And then set my stop at 1 inch. Thereabouts. A bit more. You don't want it too shallow. That's that sorted. So I'm now going to put the chuck back on the lathe, on the chuck in the chuck. Tighten it up. Get rid of this box, all this drills in. And now I can screw it in there and chuck up. Well, that's going in nice. Like I said, if you tried to screw it in and you hadn't drilled it first, you'd need a lot of leverage. Alright, let's make sure it's gone on nice and tight there, and then we're just going to put a little mark on here just to see where the centre is. It probably won't run true to begin with, but it'll give us an idea where we're working from. The centre should come up somewhere in the middle, near enough. Now with the centre, you just have to just push it in a little bit. Switch the machine on. Oops. That's obviously too fast, so I've turned the revs down a bit. Should have done that first. Oh, it's nice and steady, that's not bad at all. Take it up a little bit. Now we need to set our tool rest at a decent height. First of all, put just a little touch of oil on, a bit of oil on the slides. Not too much, just a little drop, and just wipe that in so you've got better movement, and especially along the top of the tool post, because that'll help when you're moving your chisel along. Once you've got your tool rest at the right height, you can then start to turn the outside diameter. So you just have to be a little bit careful here. I'll just put a mask on. That's better. My face full of shavings. bits off, you can then move the tool left in a little bit, maybe raise it a bit too. Not too much, otherwise make sure that nothing's catching. Failing on that one. And away we go again. Just give it a little flick. That'll do for now. All the corners off it. Now the next step is to open the middle up a little bit. But before you do that, you get the candle cup. This is a 7/8 internal diameter one. It's about an inch on the outside. So before you open it up, you need to know that you've got enough depth to drill a hole in here for your candle cup to go in there. So I do it that plus about as much again, actually about inch and 7/8 I think. Yeah, that's a good guess. Couldn't be any nearer than that. So you put a mark on, put your pencil on the edge of the wood, start it up. And that'll leave a line so you don't go beyond that line, at least to begin with. Now I'm going to use a parting tool just to get some depth. Go. The parting tool is set at a different height. So low, higher. Further in. Should do it. Back on with the helmet. to just calculate how deep I want to go. I've decided I'm going to do it for about 3.5 inches long from this edge. To begin with, it's all a bit of guesswork. And put the pencil mark again on there. And I'm going to go down to about 1.5 inches diameter. So just set your calipers about 1.5 inches, 1 3/8. And there we go. Just a touch more. That's it. Same on this side. You can use a different gauge now. Use a different gauge just to take the weight off. When you go through on the edges, because you don't want to be hitting the shoulder. Just make that. Inch and 3/8 to 1.5 a bit less, but it's alright. Let's come off after that. try and keep your rest as near to the workpiece as possible. It's not pulling down on you then. Well, that's got some of the weight out. What we need to do now is try and get the off-centre bits turned. And to do that, to show you. I'll take it out of the lathe. That's going back in there. I'm just taking this out of the lathe just for the benefit of yourselves. And you undo these two nuts here, the Allen keys, Allen screws, and then there's a little pot mark that I've made on there. Just turn that to that, or you can't see that, can you? Let's try that again. So you turn from that to the first pot mark, tighten up, put it back in the chuck. And as you can see now, it's wobbling. So you bring this up, just tighten it in a little bit, and there we have it. So what we need to do now is turn some turn your speed down. diameter at the bottom here. There's still a bit of a flat on there, so I need to go a bit deeper. Well, that's better. Just like central. Right, it's near enough for now. With the tool digging there, which I'll sort out as we go along. So what we need to do now is the same that we did before, is undo these two Allen screws. This time, come right back tilt back a bit, and right back to another dimple which I put in the chuck when I first got it. You can make your own pot marks, whatever you want, you know, gives you different degrees of eccentricity. Move this back because it's going to catch again. And then you put this on back on there just to pin it. Still got a wobbly chuck, but it's wobbling the other way around now. And then we do the same again on that side. Now you can see that it's turned now. I'll just show you what it looks like. I'll take it over the chuck. And it's like crankshaft. Point staggered. I'll put that back in. And now at this point we undo the Allen keys again. Move that slot back to the original when we first started, turning the outside diameter. Back in with the centre. There's the centre. There she is running. I'm going to do a bit of work on you see how these are running true again now. That one's off centred. Take it down really. I'm going to just tape it off. Right, it's taking shape now. I think I might put a little round edge on here, like a little bead. So we'll put a little bead on here using a beading tool like that. I mean, this is a bought one, but you can make them similar. Like that one. We'll use this one for now because it's got a deeper edge on it. bad, is it? It's alright. Yeah. I still think I'll take it down a bit more here. Now then, the question is what we're going to do with this bit. So we'll tap that below where it finishes here. The bead in it. It's okay. Stick it down a bit more. For now, and then I think we'll just chamfer it off a bit on this edge. That's quite good. I'm going to come back, I'm going to put it off centre again just to flick that little bit up. So I couldn't quite get in before with the chisel. So, like that. With this end we're going to tack down up to meet that off centre bit. And we'll put a fillet here and another bead here. Something better. Just take that half edge off here. And the base wants to be about, I don't know, 3/8 maybe thick, maybe not that thick. Start off at 3/8. Line on there. Center up. I've reset it for the off-centre one again because I want to clean up this face a little bit on that edge there. Oh, that's better. Yeah. Now I've got a lot cleaner now this corner, so I'm going to just sand it up a little bit. Using a bit of 120. That's nice. Get any little marks out and left before you polish it. Finish that off with a bit of 120. Alright. And then put a little bit, 2/4 on. You've got to watch your fingers when you're doing this. Keep a long piece of sandpaper and keep your hands all over the way. That's better. Next we're going to apply a bit of chestnut friction oil onto where we've sanded. You can see how that comes up nice now. It's quite porous, this wood, it's a bit on the dry side, so put plenty on. If you're using this, we're starting to be using something similar. Now this is a tricky bit. Make sure there's no tabs, no like things hanging down or anything when you do it. Get your finger underneath it so it can't grab it. That's one bit polished. Next we do the next eccentric one, so we move the twist the truck round with the pot mark that I put in it. Tighten the Allen keys up. Allen screws, I mean. Back in with the centre. And it's the same process again, sanding with a bit of 180. So 120 this is, yeah. And there's the second one done and polished. So make a wad, the wad down, finger underneath, and just be careful you don't catch on any of the edges. Make sure there's no straggler bits on your cotton. Use cotton because it doesn't leave fluffy bits on. Okay, we're back to the sanding the concentric one now. So 120. use a bit of 240 now. Friction polish on again. See all those nice colours coming out now. And those cracks and holes that were in it before, giving it some character. That's looking better now. And all we have to do now is drill a hole in this end for the cup. So we are now going to drill with a flat bottom drill, and I'm going to drill 1.25 inches from the cutting edge back. So I'm just going to mark it with a marker so I know how deep I've gone. And away we go. Before I put the cup in, I'm going to first of all put a bigger centre in so that it fits in that hole, and I'm going to turn slightly inwards so it leaves a slight bevel, sort of concave really, so you can, the wax off the candle doesn't go onto a flat edge. Just using a very fine tool now. Get into this corner. Like so, and then finish off with the parting tool. And then a bit more sand in here. And then we'll cut this off here. Very light cuts, because it stuck out a long way and there's nothing holding it at this end. A few thou at a time. Need a bit of a sand. The cup's going to cover anything else that's in there. Just needs to be opened up a little bit for the cup to go in. Very light on your application. Take that edge off for the candlestick, candle cup. See how that is. That's not too bad. Not quite flush. That's because it's hitting the bottom, so I'll just put my flat bit in a bit and just take a bit out the bottom. That's better. There, it's good fit now. All it wants now is a screw in the bottom. So I'm going to drill a little hole here using my chuck like we did before, only a tiny drill and a small screw, possibly with a washer behind the screw, only about maybe 3/8 long screw, something, just to hold the cup in. First of all, I'll just put a bit of polish on. So I'm going to drill a small hole with this drill at the bottom to hold this screw on. That screw there with this little washer on, and that'll go behind the cup and hold the cup in. That's done. And there we have it, nicely fitted in, it won't come out that. Next thing is to put the big centre in again, and that'll sit inside the cup. Because it's a revolving centre, it won't mark it, and that'll steady it while we cut the part it off. And you make it wide enough this when you're cutting it off, so that you can put make the bottom so it's slanted inwards, so that it stands up, because otherwise you could have a convex bottom. It makes it stand. It's near the screw now, so I'm going to have to stop it. Make sure that that's concave and not convex. Yeah, that's alright. It should screw off. There we are, I'll just part that off there, and it should stand up. I can't see it there. There we have it. And look at the colours in that. Hey. That's where the knot was and the split. You can fill it with super glue and sawdust and then sand it down and then repolish it, but I quite like the character of that one. So there we go. One last thing to do now is to, if you prefer, is to put a bit of baize on the bottom here. So you can buy that with a paper back on. Just draw a circle around it. Put it slightly bigger than the circle. About 1/8 of an inch around the circumference. And this back comes off. Actually, that's already blocked off that one, so we'll do it again. Come in a circle. Keep about 1/8 of an inch on the edge of the circle. Right, so then you peel the back off. Stick it onto the back of here, like that. And there's a little trick. Hope it works. Add a bit of sandpaper. Just go around the edges like that. Do it with the matchbox. You know, one day the old matchboxes that had sandpaper on the edge. Look at that. Right. Go in. And there we have it, perfectly round on the edges. quite old, this, so it's lost a bit of its stickiness, but that's the best way to do it. You get the perfect edge on it. There it is. There we have it. Well, goodbye, and I hope to see you again sometime. I hope you've enjoyed this little video. Yeah, that's the finished product, so we'll put a candle in it. We're ready for when the electricity goes out then.